अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नारायण परावेदा देवा नारायणां गजाः नारायण परालोका नारायण परामखाः नारायण परो योगो नारायण परन्तपः नारायण परज्ञानं नारायण परागतिः। तस्मात् एकेन मनसा भगवान् सात्वतां पदिः श्रोतव्य कीर्तितव्यश्च ज्ञेय पूज्यश्च नित्यदा। जयति जगति मायां यस्य कायाधवस्ते वचनरचनमेकं केवलं शाकलय्य ध्रुवपदमपि यादो यत्कृपातो ध्रुवोऽयं सकलकुशलपात्रं ब्रह्मपुत्रं नतास्मि। सर्वेभ्यः नमस्कारः. We are seeing the Narada Bhakti Sutras and we have completed up to 74 sutras. And Sage Narada was telling about the qualities or the glories of para bhaktas. And now in these few sutras from 75, he is telling about, or he is giving some tips for the seekers who want to be great bhaktas. So we will see Sutra 75. Bahulyavakashatvat aniya yat vacha. That is, there are so many paths to self-realization or to realize Bhagavan. So he is again giving importance to the point, that is emphasizing the point that the arguments will not help one to attain Bhagavan. Arguments are of no use. In the last sutra, we saw many reasons for it. So again in this sutra, Sage Narada is telling that arguments will not lead us to anywhere. Because one can realize Bhagavan in so many different ways. We realize Bhagavan based on our karma. Then our guru. Only by our karma we can approach the guru, by guru. The different practices. Each one guru will have one set of practice. So that practice must be comfortable for us. So by different practices, karma, different gurus. So there are so many paths towards realization. Each one have one set of karma. So they approach in one way. So we cannot argue on a common point. So the argument is very futile and it will not lead us to anywhere. See, just for example, Bhagavad Gita. So many people have written bhashyas for it. So many people. In those times, only if we write the bhashyas and we understand the text and write the commentary, that is the bhashyas for the Prasthanatrayi, then that their philosophy is accepted. So just like that, Adi Shankaracharya has written the commentary, Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya. So all of them, they have written the commentary for the Prasthanatrayi based on their philosophy. Only because of that, their philosophy got accepted. So there are different, all of them are right. No one is wrong. Even the common bhaktas, they take different paths, they all are right. Because somehow they reach the end. So all of them are right. So we cannot argue on a single point, and so the argument is not necessary, or one cannot reach Bhagavan by argument or attain mukti by argument, says Narada in this sutra. It is just like the continuation of the previous sutra only. The next sutra, Sutra 76, Bhakti Shastrani Mananiyani Tad Udbodaka Karmani karaniyani. There are so many Bhakti Shastras. Bhakti Shastras, there are plenty of Bhakti Shastras. So all that of them has to be read. Even not all, at least a few has to be read. What is comfortable for our mind, we have to select it and we have to read it with the help of the guru, or somehow we have to get it and read it. When we read the Bhakti Shastras, then we will understand how that incidents help them to reach the stage of Parabhakti. For example, the Bhagavata Purana, it's a great Bhakti Shastra. When we read Bhagavata Purana, we can understand how different people, life incidents, different people, they have attained, crossed over all these obstacles and attained the stage of Parabhakti. We can very well understand it. And how that Parabhakti, that merged into Jnana. That is very clearly explained in Bhagavata Purana. So how many times we have to read this Bhakti Shastras, these texts? We have to read it till we understand it. So is understanding alone enough? No, not enough. We have to reflect on it. We have to keep the book aside and think over it deeply. Think over it deeply. So that only then that knowledge will become our knowledge. Till then, without understanding it and reflecting on it, the book knowledge is the author's, but it's not our knowledge. But when we reflect on it, think deeply about it, it becomes our knowledge. So is that enough? No, this will not give liberation, or this will not help us to understand Bhagavan. We have to practice those methods said in it, or how the other bhaktas practice that method. We have to think over it and practice it. Only sadhana will give a Bhagavad Sakshatkara. Not just reading and understanding. Manana, Nididhyasana is very important. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, that's the path of Vedanta, isn't it? So Nididhyasana means thinking over it and practicing it. That is very important. So Narada says that Bhakti Shastrani Mananiyani, one have to reflect on it. That Udbodhaka Karmani, what is said in that Bhakti Shastras, that practices, Karaniyani, one have to practice it. Because the Shastras or Guru, whoever, they will give only knowledge and they can inspire us. But we have to practice it to attain mukti. And we have to read the different shastras, and we can select a suitable path for us, and we can select it and practice it. Now the next sutra, Sutra 77 is Sukha dukkhe ichha labhadi tyakte kale pradikshamane kshanardham abhi vyartam na neyam. So what should a sincere sadhaka do? He should Tyakta, renounce, sukha, dukkha, there is happiness and sorrow, icha, desires, labha, benefits, all these have to be set aside. So when we constantly connect with Bhagavan, automatically all this will happen. We need not practice each and everything. When we have complete concentration, one-pointed devotion towards Bhagavan, all this will automatically fall off. So after that, what one should do? We have to kale pradikshaman. We have to wait for the time for realization. When all these go off from our mind, but still there will be some lapse there to get that realization. We have to wait for that patiently. Kshanardham abhi vyartam na neyam. Once, even a shanam, 1 second should not be wasted. Because when we waste time, other factors will enter in our mind. And moreover, till this we have reached, we have renounced everything, have complete devotion towards Bhagavan. So we have to continuously engage in practice, or otherwise our mind will be let down. Even a person who has that Jivan Mukti stage, that is, he has attained that final stage, still he has to practice this, continuously think about Bhagavan or continuously merge in Brahman, or otherwise if he leave the mind free, all the rubbish thing will again enter in the mind. So Narada, Sage Narada is very particular that one must not stop practice till one shed this body and mind. So in the lifetime also, one should practice this bhakti continuously from the very young age itself. One should not postpone it. Why Sage Narada is telling us? Some people, they have this habit of telling that I want to read all the scriptures after retirement. If I read now, I cannot focus on my work. I will read after retirement, or I will read all of my household works are over. When I become old, I will read it. When we become old and when we read it, at what age will we attain mukti? So one has to practice it continuously from the very young age itself. Attaining mukti or understanding Bhagavan will come automatically. But we should not delay it or postpone it to whatever extent possible, in spite of engaging in the worldly activities. To whatever extent possible, even to a very small extent, we have to practice it. Only then, gradually, we can progress in the spiritual life, says Sage Narada. So, about another concept is telling in the next sutra, which we will say in my next upload. Om Namo Narayana